Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day so far. Again, I hope you're all staying safe and sane within this absolutely crazy pandemic that's going on right now. So I've been wanting to film this video for a while now. I did my first sort of spooky encounters videos quite a while ago now, where I read some of your ghost stories and I loved it. I love anything spooky. I love anything ghost, spirit related, haunting related. So I'm very excited to be finally filming the next one. So it might be a long one, I'm not too sure. So grab yourself a hot or cold drink. I currently have both. I mean, she a thirsty bitch right now. So grab yourself a drink, get comfy. If you want to hear some ghost stories, if you want to be a little bit spooked or freaked out by people's real life experiences, then get comfy because you're in for a good one. So I just want to add in quickly, I'm going to just sort of mention some of the pieces that I'm wearing right now, because I think it's really important to support independent artists and businesses right now. And I get a lot of questions about where I get certain jewellery from and things, so I'm just going to quickly run through that. I've got this gorgeous cobweb heart ring. This is actually from Mysticum Luna. I was very lucky enough to win this in a giveaway, and this is amazing. The quality is unreal. I've got three little necklaces on today. This one right here, this is the Pinky Promise ring, and this is from Black Hearts Jewellery. I got this quite recently. You do get two in a set, so Alex has the other one. And this really cute little skull, this is from Nox Kalo. I am a promoter for these guys and they're insane. So this is one of the first pieces I ever received and I absolutely love it. It is one of my favourite because not only is it a skull, but it kind of gives me deathier vibes, so I love this. And then the next one, this is from Rogue Moon, and this is really, well, it's quite heavy. It's a really amazing quality piece. It is a rib cage, as you can see, and it is on a slightly adjustable chain, but I've got it quite low today so I can wear it with these pieces. So if you want to give them a follow, go and support them, like their Instagram, I will leave everything linked down below. So today I'm actually going to tell you a little bit of my own mini ghost story, and then I'm going to read out maybe another ghost story, and then there's actually going to be a giveaway in this video, so stay tuned for that, because we actually passed 2k, which I know to a lot of people means nothing, but to me it means a lot, so thank you so much. I recently shared this story over on Alexandra Shan's Instagram account, because she was doing a giveaway of one of her prints, and basically you told your own little ghost story and then people voted for the best. So I thought I'd probably share it with you guys. I thought that would be a good thing to go off, because I've had quite a lot of experiences myself. So when we were a lot younger, I can't remember how old we were exactly, but we moved into an old end terraced house. So this house was 103 maybe when we bought it. It was very old and it needed a hell of a lot of work doing. So there was my mum and my three sisters. It was the weirdest experience ever. So the house needed a lot of work. We lived upstairs for a very long time while my mum renovated this house. There were holes in the floorboards, there was no wallpaper. It was pretty derelict downstairs, but then upstairs was still decorated, but it was very eerie, very dated style, I guess. I'm pretty sure a lot of the tiles in the bathroom had goldfish on them or weird paintings on them. I can't really remember. There was an outside toilet. It was a very old house. Something didn't quite feel right about the house. It felt like home, but there was always a very strange feeling in that house to me. Like I said, I was very young at the time. I was quite impressionable, I should say. I've always had really bad nightmares and night tremors, or terrors, I believe they're called, one or the other way. Basically, I have very aggressive nightmares. You don't really know that you're having them, and you can't wake up from them. It's very dangerous to wake someone up who's having one. You run around the house screaming, all fun things like that. And then as I got a little bit older, I started to develop insomnia. I was struggling to sleep, and when I did sleep, I didn't sleep well at all. I was having nightmares, and I started to feel like there was someone in this house, and apparently I would speak to this person. I felt like there was a presence there. I remember one point I had a dream that I had it was some form of maybe a golden retriever or something. It was this big golden retriever dog, and it used to sit at the bottom of my bed and follow me around the house. And then when I was awake, I would still feel like that dog was there, but that wasn't the presence I was feeling. So I'd always hear people running up and down the stairs at night. I then felt like there was someone in my room. I had to sleep with the light on outside, the landing light on, which drove my family nuts. And I was terrified of having any wardrobes, cupboards, anything left open, as if, I don't know, that was gonna open a dimension or something. I couldn't sleep with it. I used to get so worked up. And then we started hearing the door handle. So if you go down the stairs, the first door to the living room the door handle used to squeak really, really, really bad, but it was quite stiff, so it took quite a bit of force to squeak it. And I remember I used to hear it squeaking at night, and at first I thought it might just be the house, it could be anything. Now that I'm older, I think maybe it could be the pressure of the house, like house settling and stuff, but it squeaked a lot, as if someone was trying to open it and constantly jiggling it around and stuff. So then we had the front room, and the front room was kind of my mum's room. So she was a single parent who worked like 3 different jobs. The one thing she wanted was a room to herself. So she had a front room that she decorated herself. We were very rarely ever allowed in there because we were 3 little girls who caused chaos everywhere we went. And there was something about that front room, something a little bit unnerving about that front room. It just, I don't know, you just felt like there was something else there, or you were being watched. So I always felt a little bit uncomfortable in that room. So anyway, I pretty much started communicating, we will say, with a lady that was in this house, and she wasn't threatening. Even though there was this constant really weird feeling in the house, she wasn't threatening. I wasn't scared of her, but there was definitely another sort of feeling there. Whether it was another presence or it's the fact that there was a presence there, I don't know. And to me, the 2 names I mostly stuck with was Margaret, which I don't know if that's just because my name actually means Margaret in Welsh or something, I don't know, and Elizabeth. And there was something about her, I just knew she was there. It was very, very strange. And I will go into this in more detail if people want me to, like different times we experienced her. But this was going on all the way up until I was in school. I never really talked about it to anyone, because who wants to admit that there could be a dead person in the house that you kind of know how to talk to? So we started getting mail through. So I'm not going to go into names in particular because that's personal information, but let's find something. We will say our last name is Jack. It's not. I'm going to go with Whack because it rhymes with Jack. So we basically started getting post through to a Mrs. Whack, and my mum was getting so annoyed. She was like, they keep sending me mail, they're spelling my name wrong, it's Jack, not Whack. And I think eventually she contacted one of the companies or something like that to say, like, stop sending us mail, that's not my name anyway, even if you're sending me mail. And then as my mum obviously became friendly with the neighbours and things like that, we actually found out that there was a lady who used to live in our house, and she had obviously lived there for most of her life, or maybe even all of her life, and her name was actually Mrs. Whack. So say she was Mrs. Whack, my mum was Mrs. Jack. So the names are pretty much identical. Bearing in mind, our name is quite unusual, our surname is quite unusual. It's not one that you hear quite often, and her name was also not one you heard quite often, but they were pretty much identical surnames, which is very strange. We have no relation to this lady, by the way, which my mum found very strange to find that there was a lady that used to live in that house. And then we later then found out the lady had passed away in the house, in the front room. So I was apparently seeing this lady, talking to this lady, communicating to this lady who had a very similar name to us, and it turns out there was someone who had actually died there. So whether or not she was just looking over us, I don't know. I didn't feel like she was a bad presence at all. She was kind of like a comforting presence, but there was also a weird feeling going on in the house. So there was so many different things that happened while living in that house. It's very, very strange. Like I said, if you want me to go into more detail or tell some of those stories, I'm more than happy to. But it was things like, I obliterated my ankle while I was a gymnast, and I couldn't walk. I don't think I was allowed to move around for 1 or 2 weeks. I had to lie on the couch with my foot completely elevated. And I remember my friend came round and she was banging on the front door, and I couldn't hear her because I was actually asleep. I'd fallen asleep. My phone was on silent, so she was phoning me. She couldn't get hold of me. She'd come round to visit to make sure I was okay, just check in on me because she hadn't seen me in a while. And I couldn't hear her. I didn't know she was there. And then out of nowhere, the telly came on full blast, very, very, very loud, woke me up. And then as I was like coming around, like what the hell's going on, to find the remote, the volume just dropped down back to normal and the telly was still on. And that's when I realised my friend was at the door and she'd been phoning me. So things like that kind of happened. So it was never really a bad thing, but there were some weird things that did happen. And we lived in that house all the way up until I was about 16ish. So yeah, and stuff was still happening as I got older. So maybe I was young and impressionable, but for it to kind of grow up with me was very strange. So yeah, if you want me to tell more stories relating to that, I would love to. God, I need a drink after that. Okay, so I'm actually going to be reading out a story now that was sent to me in December. So I just want to say a massive apology to Jess. Jess is one of my subscribers here on YouTube and she's amazing. She sent me this story in December, so I'm so sorry it took me so long to film this, but I haven't read this story yet and she has sent me this. So she's put, okay, so I've got a story but you need to add this pic to it so people know what you're on about. So this is the picture she has sent me. It is of a little bear, and everyone remembers these VTech bears from a kid. They used to talk and things like that. So when I was really little, when I'd gone to sleep, my parents would come in and just check on me pretty much every night. And one night my dad was in the front room and heard something come from my room and was like, what was that? So he comes in and he checks on me and I'm asleep, and this bear, this one, is sat on the end of my bed like it always was. See, this triggers me so much because I had an experience with a doll when I was very young, which involved it being at the bottom of my bed, and it still haunts me to this day. So if you want to hear the story, let me know because this is triggering me. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, you're like creeping in when I'm trying to read ghost stories.
I was trying to break in.
Scaring me.
At the right point.
Scaring me. Jess is asleep and this bear is sat on the end of her bed like it always was, and it was saying my bloody name. I would be yeeting that bear so far out the window. Oh my god. So like, these things are only programmed to say certain phrases and letters as it's a phonics bear for learning. Yes, so it basically just teaches young kids to talk, to pronounce certain letters like the alphabet and stuff. It should not be saying her name at all. So my dad turned it off and nothing happened until it then happened again at the exact same time the next night. Ugh, that makes me feel really sick. That's when he took the batteries out and he left it, and then it happened again the next night. Oh, I've heard of so many stories of things like this happening. Like, I would love to look into the whole Furby thing. If you know what a Furby is, this is the Furby. They apparently do creepy shit like this sometimes. So yeah, I've heard a lot of things like this happening, but this just gives me the creep. Oh, so dad took the batteries out and it happened again. So we were like, fuck this, and we ended up lobbing it into the conservatory when nothing ever happened again. The fact that you kept it in your conservatory, you are brave. I would have put that in a grinder. It creeped me out ever since he told me many years ago. Oh, just that is disgusting. So I meant to say that on the third night the batteries were still taken out and it had gone off anyway, so it's fucking weird. Oh, very creepy. So I just want to say a massive thank you to Jess for sending that story over and for giving me the creeps. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I hope whatever was going on, if it was a ghost, demon, weird, creepy, possessed item, I hope it's gone and has left you alone ever since. Okay, so I do actually have another one. This is from the lovely girl, she's Ghostly Louise on Instagram, and she said, I shared my story with the Notebook of Ghosts. I will leave linked down below. She also shares ghost stories and things like that on her website. I learned that if someone is skeptical, they'll just be that, and there is no need to explain further more than what I saw. Oh. So it says, please note the first story briefly mentions suicide, so there is a little trigger warning here. So if you'd like to skip this, I will give you a thumbs up when we get to that part. I just turned 25 last week, and this happened when I was 22 years old, and I still dream about it and think about it very often. But back then I had to do my practice, a contributor in medical field in different towns of the island. So one day I woke up at 3:15 AM. I'm pretty sure 3 AM or around 3:15 AM is sort of demonic times. Yeah, I got ready to go because my destination was far and I hated being stuck in traffic. So when I left my house, I decided to take a shortcut to avoid the traffic. There's a house through the road where a young lady unfortunately died by suicide. She hung herself from the balcony. Every time I would pass by the house, I would get chills, and I admit it was scary because it's through the mountains and it was always very dark. So that day I wanted to be super early. I remember it clearly. I wanted to be at the hospital early, but while I was passing by the house, my car broke down. I didn't understand why. That is it's not an irrational fear because it's very easy to, like, it can easily happen. I'm so scared of breaking down. We live in the middle of nowhere. Breaking down in the middle of nowhere in the dark. and there's something out there. So we're on page 2 now, so if you want to listen you can. So basically she's driving down a road, it's very, very dark, and her car's just broke down. So I started to check everything, and it seemed like everything was fine, but the car wouldn't start. I was looking at the looking at the car's dashboard, and when I looked up in front of the car, I promise you there was fog in the silhouette of a person. Ooh. I swear I thought I was going to get robbed by someone. I tried to start the car once again after many failed attempts, and finally the car turned on, and when I looked there was no one there. That's creepy. That's really, really creepy. I think when you're alone like that in the middle of nowhere, so you're exposed, you're not even at home, you're not even somewhere that's comfort to you, that's terrifying, being stranded like that. And obviously you've seen fog that's in the shape of a person, like that could have been a physical person, but obviously you wouldn't know that. Obviously if it's disappeared, there is more of a chance obviously that it's a ghost or a spirit or something, but that could have been something physical that could have harmed you, as well as or a spirit that could have harmed. That's so unnerving. So then next bit she's put, my birthday's on April, so this was 7 months ago. And when did you send this? So this was December as well, so I'm so sorry, Louise. It might not sound scary or something of that sort, but I swear to you, there was a person in front of my car. It wasn't the fog, it was someone right in front of it, but I couldn't make out its face. I say it because I know that wasn't a person after I looked. You see, when I went to turn on the car once again, in front of the house where the suicide happened, I looked up, and that's when I saw nothing anymore. No fog, no person. I almost shit myself because I thought I was going to get robbed or something worse, but no, nothing. The street was empty. I still almost shit myself after not seeing anyone. Nobody believes me though. They blame the fog, but I'm sure of what I saw, and there's no reason to make that up. I would just be fooling myself. I wish it weren't true, but I know what I saw. And obviously if you've seen fog like most person has, it doesn't have a shape to it, that especially shape that's going to look like a person. God, that's creepy. Again, I'm hoping that this is only happening because it's potentially a haunted location. Obviously it's devastating that someone felt a need to take their own life and potentially may still be trapped on this world. I don't know. I'm hoping to God that this spirit, ghost, whatever it could potentially be, isn't following you home. I hope it is just because you are passing a location. So I'm crossing everything that you stay safe, girl. Okay, so let me know your thoughts down below. These sort of things just leave me shocked but really intrigued at the same time. So thank you so much to you two for sending over your stories. I'm so sorry it took me so long to read out your experiences, but if you do have your own experience, please, please, please send them over to me. I would love to read them out on my channel. I can read them out as anonymous. You do not have to have your name in there if you do not want to. So all you have to do is message me on Instagram, send me a DM, and just put as the opening words, just put ghost story, just so I know that it's there. I won't read it, I leave it until I react. And just let me know as well if you want to stay anonymous, or if you want me to mention your name or your Instagram, or you can email me. I will leave my email link down below, so if it's easy to just type it out on a laptop or something, I'll leave it linked down below so you can email me them. Again, just put in the little info, what is it called, reference, just leave it in there, just put ghost story. And also let me know down below if you want me to go into a few of my ghost stories, ghost encounters, weird experiences, because there is a lot. So next, I have a little giveaway for you. It is nothing major, but it's just as thank you to my subscribers, I am going to give away this. So this is one of my wooden plaques that I sell in my shop. My shop is currently closed, so this is currently unavailable. So if you would like to win the Ghosts and Ghouls welcome, I thought it was a bit fitting to do a ghost one. If you want to win this wooden plaque, this is one of the first things that you can win. I will tell you the rules in a second. And as an added bonus, I'm going to throw in some Bones Cult goodies. So this is a Bones Cult brand. I have done an unboxing of their stuff before on my channel, and I actually got some of their pins, and I had to go and buy you guys the 3 from the collection because they're fab and I love mine. So the first one I believe is the Bunny Boiler, which looks just like that. Then you've got the classic green skull, which looks just like that. And then this one I don't actually have, so you guys get to have this one. I think this is the pothead one, I can't really remember. I love my plants, as most of you know, so you also get this one. I only have these two, so you guys get the entire collection. This isn't in any way endorsed by YouTube or Bones Cult or anything like that, or it's just goodies I bought or goodies I made that I want you to have. So if you want to win these, it is open international, so worldwide. You are more than welcome to enter. All you have to do is be a subscriber, obviously, because this is for my subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button and then give this video a massive thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below, let me know if you are a believer of ghosts or spirits or whatnot, and also leave a way that I can contact you, preferably your Instagram if you have one. And if you want a bonus entry, you can head over to any of my recent pictures on my Instagram, follow me over there, and I want you to comment these emojis. If you don't have these emojis because your phone is different, that's fine, just do whatever you can that's closest and say that you have come from YouTube. This will be the closing day. I will then contact the winner. If the winner doesn't reply within 24 hours, I will be picking it someone else. That's all you've got to do. Everything will be written down below. If I've spoke too fast like usual, the rules and stuff are down below. But that is it for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. Please give it a massive thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and subscribe if you are not. I'll leave all my social media linked down below, so feel free to head on over there and check me out, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.